So either you complain or you don't complain. Either you work on yourself or you don't work on yourself. Either you blame others or you don't blame others. That's something you need to decide. If something is garbage, clean it up. Leave it. Walk away from it. Why keep going back to the garbage? And why always acting like a victim? Are you saying to me that you cannot change your situation at 35 or 40 when people are able to change their situation at 50 and 60? Are you also saying this, not a specific person, but all the people who relate with this, that it is entirely the other person's fault? Always. Always. Because then that will make it much easier for you. The reason why you're squirming in agony, the reason why you're upset, the reason why you're so pissed off is because you know that even you are at fault in certain areas. But instead of taking ownership for it and instead of changing it, the better thing to do is not be inspiring, not be fit and healthy, not quit all the bad habits, not focus on yourself, not focus on source, but non-stop focus on those people and problems. I know people who don't just chase mentally or through phone and messages, they physically chase people. Like they'll show up in front of them, they'll go to their office, they'll go to their house, or they'll stand under their house and call them up and say, hey, I'm waiting for you downstairs. Can you please come? Can you just stand at the balcony? Can you just wave at me? All of those things they do. Or they'll start asking that person constantly, what's the problem? Did I do something bad to you? Why you don't want to be with me? What is the issue? Why won't you talk to me? Please talk to me. And they'll do it in a place, in a setup where the other person cannot even run away. If somebody does not want to talk to you, somebody is making it clear through their body language, through their behavior, then why do you have to chase them again and again and again? Why can't you get a clear message that they don't want to be with me? They don't want to talk to me. I am forcing myself on them. And I should not do that. Where is the ownership? Where is the accountability? First, you need to take the ownership and accountability. Then only you can heal something. So first you need to know, okay, this is a bad habit that I have. This is a pattern that I have. Okay. Now I need to fix it. Then we figure out where is it coming from. It's coming from ancestry. It's coming from generational gaps. It is coming from genes. It is coming from society. And now that you know that it is coming from all these places, then what? You've done that analysis, then what? Next thing that you need to do is you practically need to fix it. You need to change it, and you can change it yourself. You cannot expect other people to do it for you. And that is the hardest part. It's easy to blame. It's easy to shame. It's also easy. It's a lot of fun actually. It's really good to do research work. Like you're going through a dark night of the soul. You don't know what's happening to you. You go on the internet, you do the research work, and you get like 10 answers out of it. Okay, because I'm in a dark night of the soul, because I had bad programming, because I'm born in this country, because there are certain things that you cannot even control out of this. Maybe you're born in the dark ages, and so that's why so many people around you are dark. Your focus is only on that. Even in the dark ages, my friends, many masters have done wonderful work. Even in the dark ages, many places and many people have flourished. People have won awards, rewards, they've written books, they've done researches, because they did not allow that reason to stop them. You want to wake up in the morning, you want to go to exercise, either 10 reasons are going to stop you, or you're going to just stand up and do it. Or are you saying that you not getting married at 40 is the world's biggest disaster right now? Whatever age, 30, 40, for some people it starts at 25 only. There are so many problems on this planet. Or are you trying to say that your problem is the biggest problem on this planet? You not getting married at a certain age, or your relationship getting over with someone, is the biggest problem that needs prime attention. Like there are hungry people in this planet. There are children who are begging on the streets. There are children that are being sold off. There are children who are being molested and raped by pedophiles. There are so many problems that this world is going through, like environment hazards, all the gandagi means all the garbage, all the pollution. I'm not saying that your problem is not a real problem. I'm not saying that your problem does not deserve your attention, but it deserves your attention. There are so many issues in this world right now. And there's a very beautiful saying by Kabir, बुरा जो देखन मैं गया, बुरा न मिलिया कोई, जो मन झांका आपना तो मुझसे बुरा न कोई. So are we also trying to say that all these people who are suffering right now, they are the problem, they are the worst people? You need to be a bit practical, logical, analytical about it and not act like a cranky baby who needs attention. Because you're no longer that cranky baby. First of all, being a cranky baby itself is a problem. There has to be a reason why the baby is cranky. Maybe the mother has not fed him or her. Maybe the mother has not put on enough clothes to keep the child warm, or as per the atmosphere, maybe he's feeling very hot, he or she. Maybe there's some stomach issue the baby is facing. Some issue is happening. But neither you are that baby right now who is having all of these issues. Neither you should be cranky at this point, because you are a grown-up adult who can take care of yourself. You are grown up to the point that you are online looking for answers, looking for solutions, or even venting out. Some people love these YouTube channels because they can vent out. Some people write long messages, very long comments, which is full of complaints, full of saying that, this person did this to me, did that to me. And then they feel very nice. After writing that long paragraph, they feel a bit relaxed. They can go back now. They dumped it. They dumped their problems or their anger or their pain or their issues at a place where probably somebody is going to read. They don't care actually it's going to be read or not. They don't care that the content creator or the therapist or the teacher is definitely going to read it, because it's so long. They also know that not everyone is going to give that much time and attention to it. But what feels nice is the fact that they can vent out. For them, it's more of a dumping ground than anything else, which is okay. This is also social service. You make content that triggers people and then they say, oh, you want me to forgive this person? You want me to move on? You want me to live my life? And sometimes when I share letters from masculine or feminine channeled from the collective where healing is happening. So a masculine is healing and he's realizing that, okay, I'm going through this situation and I need to speak about it. Or the feminine is healing and she realizes that, this man was not a good man, whosoever it was. He was a toxic person. He treated me horribly. Okay. He disrespected me. So it can happen to both. Both parties can attract toxic people or people who are not good for them. Okay. So both of them, anybody for that matter, some of those letters are very positive. They have a lot of asking for sorry. They have a lot of wisdom. They have a lot of love and compassion, and it's genuine love. It's not sexual or physical love, or that's why it's in a letter form, so that anybody who resonates with it can think about it also, can ponder about it. But some people get very triggered by those words and they go on blasting the person who has written the letter or whosoever they're imagining in their heads. So I'm not saying that you should not vent out. But since it's a public platform, it's an open platform, anybody can write comments, anybody can come and anybody can watch the videos. So as a content creator, I also like to choose and pick comments and messages sometimes to give you answers, because it's not the problem of only one person. It's a problem of many people. So when you find out, okay, first this person has left you. So you have a big fight, you have a big showdown, and you tell this person that, okay, I'm done with you. You're a horrible person. You're a bad person. You say a lot of things that you want to say. They say a lot of things that they want to say. Sometimes there's some verbal abuse, and sometimes there could be a physical altercation also. Maybe they push you, maybe they punch you, maybe they hit you, whatever they do to you. And they leave and you leave. And that's the end of it. You want to end it right there and then. It's over for you now. Okay, so when they read or hear these letters which are from the healed masculine or the healed feminines, they get very upset because they cannot fathom that there could be people who are healed or there could be people who are not experiencing this toxicity anymore, and they can love others, they can go forward and love others with compassion, with joy, with happiness, or with gratitude, most importantly. So they get very angry because their situation is not like that, because in their reality, in their world, they don't see it happening in the near future. So when it happens to other people, and this can happen in real life also. In real life also, they see some happy couples or some happy relationships, some happy families. You are struggling to have a great relationship with your mother and your father for so many years. Since childhood, you have been craving for that. And no matter how much you work on yourself and no matter how many things you read and you study, because this is another thing that I'm going to discuss now. You are doing all of that and you cannot even imagine, you cannot even think like they can change or they can fix. So when you see someone else changing it, someone else fixing it, you feel jealous, you feel envious, you feel upset. Jealousy is still good, but people feel envious. That what? How is this person doing this? It's not possible. This is all bullshit. This is all lies. This is not real. Because my life is not like that. How can their life be like this? Okay. Then I tell people to not over-research. Okay, research is good. We write books also. We do so much also. But if you only research and not do anything practical, so you listen to the channelings. In the channelings, the channeler is saying something. It is a guidance from the higher beings, or it is a channel message. They give you some advice. They give you something to work upon. They talk about health. They talk about fitness. They talk about mind, body, soul connection. Because usually what people do is they like to read a lot. They do a lot of theory. That's why I put assignments in my work, and then sometimes I let people go. I let them go for 10 days, a week, 2 weeks sometimes. Don't do anything. No assignment, no sessions for you. Why? Because I want to check them. Do they fall back in the same behavior pattern or not? And most of them do. Some of them don't. But most of them do. And those who don't do assignments and those who don't do proper inner work the way it is told them, they get a lot of issues during the therapy itself. Why? Because they are more focused on theory and less focused on practical. Some of the people are also suffering a lot because they read a lot. They know a lot. They have so much knowledge. You ask them about any disorder. You ask them about anything. They'll give you such technical names and answers sometimes that forget you, even your grandfather would not have heard it. Your great-grandfather might not have heard it. He'll come out from the grave and say, I never knew this vocabulary or this word. So they'll give you such fancy words, such heavy-duty words. It is probably the same thing, but they'll say it in such a super scientific way, which is probably really not even super scientific. But they have so much trouble putting it in their lives, practically applying it. So change cannot happen if you don't practically apply it. Another important thing is maybe this person or all of these people at this point in time energetically, they don't even need the answer. Because when I said we'll answer this one, the immediate reply was, what answer, madam? I turned 40, spoiled my 7 years in this crap connection. Why should I marry someone else? Why should I do this? So they don't want the answer. They don't want the solution. They want to squirm in the agony. They want to burn in the fire of the pain, the suffering that is being caused by all of this situation. Because if somebody wants to listen, somebody wants a solution, somebody wants to change things, they won't say, what answer, madam? It literally reminds me of a situation. And again, I'm not upset with anyone. Don't take it like that. I'm actually quite enjoying this. So I had taken up an office some place nearby, and this is like a completely secluded place. How I don't like too many buildings or too many houses. I am okay to live at a certain distance from the city, and have certain things technology wise, and that's enough. So I was very happy, like nobody is here, but I could see that there are some poor people who are in poverty consciousness living over there. It was quite obvious, as some of them were working on the buildings, the new buildings that are being made. So this place is actually so secluded, and it is so out of all the crowd and all the marketplaces and all the all the blocks and societies and this and that. So there are some people who are building up houses over there as well right now. So there are some buildings being constructed, and there are some poor people in general living over there. There are some villages over there. So as soon as my office became operational, and all the fittings were being done, the electricity was being brought in, all the other things were being done, I started noticing that every second day somebody would come to my office and they would go like, "Excuse me, madam, excuse me, ma'am, can I take some electricity from you?" So in India especially, it happens that people sort of take electricity illegally. I mean, they're very poor. I'm not going to blame them also. They cannot afford a brand new connection. And the people they are working for, they are also not giving them enough that can help them, lit up their house. I am sure they can do it from so many other places. They could have done it, or maybe they're already doing it, but then they saw a new person. So most people think that only rich people are bad people, only poor people are bad people, only rich people are privileged, only poor people are privileged. Actually, people are privileged, underprivileged, overprivileged in most places. Yes, I do agree that too much wealth is also a problem, and it causes a lot of mental sickness. Similarly, too much poverty is also not good. However, this does not change the fact that people are privileged. There are lots and lots of poor people also who are in crime. They are criminals. They also extort money. They rape. They may be having their own reasons to do it. And there are lots of rich people also. We've seen so many news stories, documentaries where they've killed someone, they've murdered someone. So they are not murdering for money. They are murdering for maybe something else right now. Even in poor people, you see there are a lot of revenge stories, or there are these honor killings I've heard, where these head of the family members, they just kill the children in the house, or the growing up children, the growing up adults, when they don't listen to them. So there is a privileged mentality, and it has got nothing to do with poverty. So one of this man walks up to me and he says that, "Ma'am, please give me electricity. I'll give you 100 to 500 rupees every month." I said, "I cannot do it. I mean, I have to say certain things to them." I was giving my reasons that I cannot do this. First I said it's not legal. Then I said lots of, police people also keep patrolling from here. And since there's a lot of gap between my house and your house, the wire has to be very long. It's going to be very inconvenient for me. And I don't know, I cannot keep a check on how much electricity will you use. So I'm sorry, but I cannot do it. So the next thing he says is that you don't know, I have 5 children. I have 5 to 6 children. How will they sleep in this summer heat? So he started literally making me feel that it is his privilege, because he's poor and I have an office here, it is his privilege to take electricity from me on an illegal way because he has 6 children or 5 children. So he's using that not only to sympathize, not only to get, sympathy or something, but also so he can throw the privilege at me that I'm a poor person, I have 6 children, you don't, so give me what I want. So I asked him with a smile that, "Brother, when you were giving birth to these 5 or 6 children, did you ask me? Did you ask me?" I fail to understand this, that when people cannot even afford food, clothes and shelter for themselves, why do they have to bring in so many children on this planet? And there are so many ways to not have children. All of them know it, trust me. All of them know it. I saw one more documentary where a man killed a prostitute because she asked him to put on a condom. Because she asked him to put on a condom, he killed her. because he didn't want to wear it. You can literally kill other people. You can demand things from other people because you have something going on. You know, you can vent out. You can vent out on my channel. You can write all these things as if it's my fault. Why didn't you get married when you were 20 or 30? It was your choice. It was your choice to be with this person for 7 years. It was your choice to be in this relationship. Then why blame other people as if I am your great-grandmother who decided all of these things for you? Or I am your great-grandfather. And if not me, then anybody else on this planet. All the other people, this whole planet is doomed because people are just questioning others. Like, hey, why should I do it? Do you know what I'm going through? Do you know what I'm going through? If people like me start telling you all what all I'm going through while making this content, you'll probably not do anything, right? What can you do? Tell me. So what can I do? What can a person do in this situation where you yourself chose to be in a relationship that did not work out for you? So take ownership, take responsibility. That okay, it was my choice to be in this relationship. Maybe I made a mistake. What is the big deal in accepting a mistake? Some of the people tell me after inner work, say 2 years of inner work, 3 years of inner work, they tell me that the same masculine who got married to someone else, and I am a living example of this, the same people who marry someone else and leave you or go away for greener pastures, you do your inner work. You need to realize that, okay, it was my mistake too. Maybe I have programming. So my mother and father or my ancestry gave me this, as a child, I got this because of my programming, because of the societal flaws, because of the time and era we live in, and most importantly, because of my past life karmas. So we are very quick and fast to blame the parents, blame the system, blame the society, but we don't want to think about the concept of past lives. And then some of the people would tell me, oh, there is no such thing as past life. Really, where did you come from? Lots and lots of intelligent people can actually divert this conversation. Somebody would say there's no God, there's no such thing as God. Somebody would say we came from the chipmunks or we came from the monkeys. Somebody would say the Big Bang happened and there were babies everywhere. The human just popped out from nowhere. Or one fine day this monkey felt like removing his skin and below that skin there was a man. Like there are 100 theories that people can give. But they don't want to accept that maybe I did something bad in my past life and for which I am here on planet Earth. I have to pay off my karma. I have to clear my karma. So might as well do it. What's the big deal if one person doesn't get married at 40 or 50? What's the big deal if you don't have any children? Like I always find it hard to understand. Like when people ask me, why aren't you getting married or why aren't you having babies? I ask them the same question in a different way, like why are you married and why do you have babies? And you know what the fascinating answer is? Because everybody is doing this. So maybe there are few people who don't want to do it. Maybe they want to do it, but as God has planned it for them. Maybe I'd rather wait for destiny to make it happen. I don't want to make the efforts. Until the time I don't do it, I'm happy doing whatever I'm doing. Right? So there are lots of things that can go wrong, lots of things that can go right. That toxicity that we are, focusing on outside, it's actually inside, it's within. It's within. So people want to be a victim, but not get up and change themselves, their habits, their behaviors. Like this comment says, it's difficult in Indian continent to get married after 35. Then I have only one option, to marry with the same or remain unmarried. Hello? The one option that you're talking about, actually there are two options. First one is to marry with the same. So the marry with the same is not going to happen because he's already married to someone else. Hello? Please wake up. That person is already married to someone else. So you cannot marry that person right now unless they willingly separate, they willingly divorce that person and they come to you and they say, I am ready. So that option is gone. Second is remain unmarried and take abuses of the society and family for whole life. Okay, remain unmarried, I understand. But take abuses of society and family for whole life. How is this connected? Like if you're unmarried, who says that you need to take abuses of society and family? Like why are you even focused on that aspect of society? We always focus on things and then we say the things are focusing on me. Like I was being told by someone that, my neighbors, they keep staring at me all the time. They keep looking inside my house. They keep looking towards me. Or I'm sitting at the window and these boys, they are sitting at the terrace and they're just looking at me. So you literally, okay, fine. At one moment you'll feel like, okay, this person is a victim because the neighbor is staring at this person. Somebody on the terrace is looking at that person. And I asked this person, so how do you know? How did you find out that these people are staring at you, looking at you? So every time I go out from the door, the neighbors are staring at me. Every time I'm doing anything, I look at them looking at me. So you are also looking at them. That's why you know that they're looking at you. And say, for example, they look at you and you don't think it's anything important or out of the blue, somebody just looking at you, and you just walk away, you don't care about it, wouldn't be a completely different experience. Like people are from the terrace, they are looking at me. How do you know that? Because I'm at my window and I'm looking outside my window and those people are doing something at the terrace. First of all, it's very difficult to look towards the terrace from the window. Secondly, if people are enjoying the terrace just the way you are enjoying standing at your window, what is the problem in that? What is the issue in that? As much as you have the right to walk on the street, go out, do things, even they also have it. But you are attracting it more in your life because you're constantly focused on those things, so those things also focus on you. That's how it works. So if you're focused on somebody loving you, treating you nice, respecting you, they are there for you, you'll see it more in them. But if you keep thinking they don't love me, they don't care for me, they don't respect me, they don't ask me anything, they make their own decisions, they are annoying, you will see more and more of it. That's a fact. And that's why sometimes we say misery needs company, because when two negative people start abusing and accusing other people, they are saying this person did this to me, this person did that to me, that type of negativity also you should avoid. I have done it. I have some negative people in my life who don't let go. They don't let go of what happened in the past. They don't let go of the hurts. They keep reliving it every day. And the moment, I used to sit and talk to them, I would also start feeling the way they are feeling. Or, they'll make you feel like you're not going through it. You don't know. That is the worst thing people do. Like, my pain is the biggest pain. Your pain is not as big as my pain. So you would never know, you would never realize how much agony I am going through. Because you're not in my shoes. I want to say that you're not the only person who's in those shoes, by the way, because everybody's life has some amount of pain or misery. Constant comparison. You want to do comparison? Then do comparison with those people who are worse than you. And you will get your answer. That's why I spoke about children getting abused and rapes and pedophiles and hunger and starvation and AIDS and cancer. Have you ever been to a hospital which is full of cancer patients? Have you ever done that? If you have done that, then you'll actually be very grateful to God. If you have witnessed that amount of suffering, like so many people suffering, I think hospitals they should not be called hospital, they should be called hell. It's literally walking through hell. When you see all those people, old, young, men, women, suffering so much, you literally feel that, you know what, my life is much better. So we should not be privileged enough that we start blaming others who are in a better position than us and question them. And then, make all these things like societies, tanas and society's words and families, this and that. Nobody is telling you to do that. You're so worried about society. As I said, go to matrimonial, go to a dating app, Go to some sort of a, like you have Craigslist in the West, put an ad out in the paper that, hey, I'm looking for a groom, these are my qualifications, this is it. So many people do it. If really your worry is only the society and your family members, then do what you want to do to stop that from coming to you. But it's your choice. You don't want to do it because you also know secretly that you're much happy in the place that you're in. And if you don't know that secretly, then as I said, do what it is the best for you. What is the best for you? Sometimes this whole thing about programming is also not a good thing in some people, because when they find out about there is negative programming, there are bad people around me, there are people who abused me, sexually violated me, there are people who taught me how to be a poor person all my life, there are people who told me I cannot earn this much money, there are people who told me that, clutter is good, there are people who told me junk food is good, all of that they know. Now you know this. Now you know that you were programmed. Now you know that maybe it was your past life bad karmas, that you were born in that particular family, or maybe in some cases, as how they say for Twinflame and star seeds, they chose it. They chose to be in those templates, to be in pain and suffering, and then heal themselves, and while healing they help the earth ascend, and they help all those other people, all the templates to get healed. This is a very beautiful way of saying it, and the one which says you have done bad deeds in your past life, so now you got to go through it. This is another way of seeing it. So no matter what happens to you, the most important thing is to clear the garbage. That is the thing. That is the next step. Now you know the theory, you know the reasons, you know this is bad. Why hold on to it? Okay, fine, your parents are horrible. Okay, fine, they gave birth to you. Forgive them. They are not perfect. Just the way you're not perfect, they are not perfect either. You want to work on yourself, you want to learn how to forgive, you want to work on yourself how to release all of this, you want to work on yourself how to scientifically and spiritually change your life. Let's do that. That's a better thing to do. Or you do it by yourself, or you find a way, or you know what's happening. So you know what's happening to you, and then you work on yourself to fix it. That's the ideal way of going about it. Not constantly complaining and cribbing, because all the complaining and cribbing has actually led to this situation, by the way. Because you must have been with someone for not a day, 2 days, 3 days, 7 days. You were with a person for years. And you cannot be with someone for years until and unless you know that they're going to fulfill some kind of an expectation of yours. And it's not just your time was invested into it. Even their time was invested into it. And they choose to do something better than constantly cribbing and complaining. They chose something better. And again, if you're going to take this personally, then it's your fault. Because this is not just your situation. This is the situation of many people. I can go deeper and deeper into this. Please ask me valid questions. Please ask me valid questions, and I will go deeper and deeper into this subject. Let's see how deep your questions are going to be, and let's see how deep the answers are going to be. And I'm not taking any credit for it. I'm going to say total absolute thanks to Source and Masters for guiding me to be even doing this. Okay, so here I'm going to close this session, because I want people to ponder on themselves. Sukh chahiye to khud ki aur nihar. This is a beautiful saying by Buddha, that if you want to be happy, then focus on yourself. And focus on yourself means focus inside, focus within. You go within yourself and try to fix it. Because you're not the only person here on this planet. There are 7.5 to 8 billion people on this planet, and most people are suffering. What do you want to do about that? Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out. And I'll see you soon in another one. Jai Shri Ram.